When I started writing, it was honestly as an antidote to the depression I was dealing with living overseas. I needed a creative outlet, and my husband actually suggested a blog. And at the time, I had a family blog, you know, the kind where you show photos to the grandparents, but I hadn't done anything beyond that. But I thought about his idea because I did like to write, and I liked the idea of just a creative outlet for me while living overseas. And you know, this was during a time when the blogs had been around for a while, but they were really taking off. And so it was I feel like a great time to start a blog. And within a few months, I had my first ad on the sidebar. It was only a few dollars a month, but ever since then, I had been earning some form of income on the blog. And that's been, well over 5 years now. And I had not planned that at all. I had no idea I was fairly good at running a business. You know, we turned this into a thing with editors and other writers, and it's been a great deal, and it turns out I love it, and I love providing for our family this way, but it was a complete happenstance. I had no idea. I have no business background, no training. I've learned as I've gone, looked up a lot of things on Google, asked other people for help, and just learned as I grew this business, and it turned out to be a natural fit for me. I work on the internet, and it's a great thing because it's instant and I can always create something new and it's everywhere. But the problem with that is that it never stops. There's no finish line to the internet. There's this kind of joke, like nobody ever says at the end of the day, well, I finished Twitter. As soon as you do something, you see one more thing. The internet is a huge place. And that can be really frustrating, that you can turn that into just sort of this inner turmoil of, gosh, why do I even bother? Or I create and then, the next day it's old news again. For me, the best thing that helps that inner dilemma is to shut down the laptop, to make sure I actually spend time in the 3D world where I'm interacting with real people, the people that actually matter most to me because they're closest. And I just clear my head by doing something basic and real, like folding laundry or going to meet a friend for coffee or doing something, normal and real and not on the internet, which is hard to do, honestly. You think that would be like, well, that's not hard, but really, how easy is it to spend hours on Facebook and then you suddenly realize I did not get anything done today. So for me, setting limits by saying I'm done with work for today, I did not do it all. I've had to come with peace with the ideas like I'm not going to have this one checklist that I will completely finish in a day. I've never had a checklist that I've finished in a work day. But just to be okay with that and to step away and, not open it again if I can help it in the evening. There are times when I just need to, and that's okay. But having those natural boundaries between life and work really help keep me less stressed about the lack of a finish line. I wrestle a lot with this concept of enough because I think anybody, not just someone who works on the internet, you have this idea of like, okay, this amount of money will be enough for my family to live off my work. And then when you get to there, you think, okay, now this much money will mean we can live like this. And then this much money means we can start going to these places. And at some point you start realizing that enough is this like carrot on a stick you will never get to. And I've had to come to terms with the idea of redefining enough for me. That enough has much more to do with a lifestyle than a number. That when we are at peace, when we truly enjoy where we live, where we don't feel this desire to, move to the nicer part of town, when we really feel like we can do the things that matter to us, which for our family is travel, then I realize, we are at enough. We have enough for us. And there's something life-giving about that. There's peace to that. And it helps you stop working at the end of the day because you realize that, your family really does have enough, whatever that enough is. And for us, we feel like we've found it.